in to jump it up. And here we go from Seattle, Washington, as Ari McDonald, Nneka Ogwumike get tied up. How about that?
Already a few seconds into the...
Here's Williams having a career year into Ogwumike, who had 37 the other night. Nneka can't hit there, and the rebound deflected into the lap of Boston.
Left side of the floor cleared out for Nneka Ogwumike. No help comes, letting Aaliyah Boston handle that matchup solo.
Expecting more than 18,000 fans today in Seattle. Always a terrific atmosphere. Nice find from McDonald, and Howard lays it in.
And right away, you see Seattle trap in the on-ball screen with Kelsey Mitchell. Beautiful ball movement by Indiana to find the open player inside.
And a deflection there from Boston leads to a steal. Here comes McDonald, and a quick start for the Fever.
That's one of the things Indiana wants to do, is get up and down the floor quickly. Ari McDonald excels in that regard.
McDonald over her last 2 games averaging 21 points, 5 assists while shooting 7 of 10 from 3. Here's Nneka, face-up jumper, rims out.
You saw her, that's her sweet spot on the floor. And Indiana also choosing to trap in the on-ball screen situations.
McDonald has it deflected, Williams able to grab it. Gabby Williams leading the league in steals this season, 2.6 per game. Erica Wheeler dances free and lays it in, and now the crowd here in Seattle will sit.
And now we can see both ends of the floor.
I always prefer to call a game that way. Here's Boston. Out to McDonald, her 3, no. And Williams the rebound, having a career season, an all-star this year. Gabby Williams, and that's something Noelle Quinn wants more of, that she has gotten this year from Gabby Williams. Calling her own number, being aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, she has become such a good offensive player, and you saw what she can do on that last possession. Her ability to facilitate, get the ball, bring it down herself, and just...
Gold medal away from USA, and she's really just continued to expand her game then in this league at this level following that. Here's Wheeler. Thought about the 3. Williams trying to dance around McDonald. Oh, nice move. Wide open in the corner. Ogwumike gets the roll on the 3.
Nneka Ogwumike coming off a game Friday where she had 37 points in the loss against LA in double overtime.
It was a thrilling game. First double OT game of the season in the W. And a foul here against Nneka, who says, yep, I did.
Great job by Gabby Williams when it goes through.
Well, you talk about one of the all-time great, consistent producers in this league's history. It's Nneka Ogwumike, who's now 6th all-time in points. As Mitchell misses the 3, follows it up, bounces underneath, easy lay for Howard. Ogwumike, just the 6th player ever to reach the 7,000 point mark, as Boston comes up with another steal. Mitchell fires away, can't hit. Another offensive rebound for Indiana. That was something they really accessed in the first meeting against Seattle, had 15 of them. And Mitchell draws the whistle against Wheeler, then took a shot from behind from Magbagor. And Kelsey Mood, especially on the road of late, last 8 road games, averaging over 25 points per, 50% from 3. Taking a look at the upcoming WNBA national TV in Phoenix, Ion Friday, New York at Dallas, Seattle in Vegas, CBS Saturday, it'll be Chicago in Indy. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. It's just amazing looking at how jumbled the standings are, 2 through 10 right now. Incredible to watch how this is going to unfold over the final month of the regular season as Magbagor floats it in.
Great size and length and high release point, and again, just one-on-one with an entire lane to work with.
Here's Boston. Boston, good look inside. Howard lays it in. Nobody in the league at 6'4" or taller averages more assists than Aaliyah Boston.
An excellent passer, whether she's at the free throw line area or when she gets the ball on the block.
Ogwumike can't hit. 10-9 lead for Indiana. Good action early in this first.
Trap again on Ari McDonald this time.
And knocked away, loose on the floor. McDonald after it, shovels to Howard, who just dropped it. Here comes Wheeler pounding it up the floor. Williams fires.
Area of the game where Aaliyah Boston has really grown, her ability to facilitate full court.
Mitchell gives it up. McDonald can't knock it down. Indy 0 for 4 from 3 to begin this game. Lob it underneath, and Wheeler blows the bunny. Players looking like they need a breather.
Yes.
Cunningham lays it in, going backdoor on Diggins.
Players and the bunny.
A 12-9 lead for Indiana. Midway through the first. Chloe Bibby getting ready to check in for Indiana. As Diggins gets on the board.
Really nice job rejecting the screen and going to her strong left side for the easy finish.
Diggins now a 7-time All-Star. Here's Boston. Howard couldn't handle it. Wheeler pushing pace, lobbing it ahead, and Williams finishes it.
Look at some of the players just walking down the floor. Absolutely need a little break in this action.
Indiana's 4 turnovers that Seattle has turned into 7 points in this first. Mitchell blurs into the paint, missed the lay. Here comes Williams again, pushing pace for Seattle. Seattle second in the league in defensive turnover percentage. Only Phoenix forces more of them. And Mitchell going to get called for a foul. Look clean at first look. Great action.
Things didn't work out with Dewana Bonner. She was their first call. She has been relentless, and she scored a career-high 27 points in a big win on the road against Phoenix. But, guys, she has always had to prove people wrong about her size. She plays bigger, has a bigger heart than anyone can believe, and love that she's getting to show it this season for the Indiana Fever.
And Holly, you know, some of our audience remembers, and some of them may not. Erin McDonald helped orchestrate one of the great Cinderella runs in the history of the women's tournament. Her senior year at Arizona, she led them to the national championship game as a low seed and was 1 point away from victory. She had a shot at the buzzer against Stanford, but she was unbelievable during that run, taking Arizona to heights they had never been in that program.
And has fit in beautifully with this Indiana Fever team and what they want to do. Great high-low pass that time from Chloe Bibby to Aaliyah Boston. Look at the difference in the size of these two players on the floor right now. The front court with Mag Bagor and Malunga versus the size, the smaller front court right now with Bibby at the 4.
Malunga, the rookie, number 2 overall pick, can't hit there. Malunga, 6'6", 19-year-old out of France. Has a really impressive skill set, has started to play better, getting more minutes of late. Mitchell wide open, short, and Williams the rebound. Mitchell looked like she kind of slipped out of her hand on the release.
I didn't think she expected to be quite that open in the corner.
Yeah. Gabby Williams storms inside, can't finish it, follows it up. Into the arms of Bibby, just signed for the rest of the season by Indiana. Been a perfect fit at the stretch 4. Cunningham connects on a 3. Went field goal-less in the first meeting against Seattle earlier this season. Gets on the board with the Fever's first triple of the day.
Cunningham in the last 9 is shooting 49% from the 3-point line, and she's playing with that kind of confidence early.
And getting a podcast deal as well. And all other kinds of endorsements. Oh, beautiful get-ahead feed, but then knocked out of bounds by Clark as it looked like it was going to land in the lap of Mitchell.
But Colson knew that Mitchell was going to win that foot race,
yes.
So she just lofted it up ahead.
Say it did last hit Indiana, and you can see Caitlin saying you were right in front of her. What made you change the call?
And now you see Seattle has gone with their smaller lineup with Alicia Clark playing the 4th position.
And we should say on that replay, it did look like it last hit Kelsey Mitchell, and that
yes.
was the right call.
Yes.
Alicia Clark, along with Tiffany Mitchell in off the bench. Clark has been in and out of the rotation of late for Seattle. She has really struggled this season, the accomplished veteran. Diggins unable to finish, and then gets a whistle on Boston. Aaliyah Boston frustrated. Remember, after that double overtime loss the other night, Noelle Quinn went off on the officials about Skylar Diggins not shooting a single free throw in 43 minutes of play, got fined for her remarks, and right away Diggins goes to the line.
And on this drive, I thought Sydney Colson, but I didn't think Boston did. Yeah.
Agreed. But Colson got her on a reach-in.
Right, as part of the drive.
I'm sure Indiana would prefer the foul assigned to Colson rather than Boston, but just the first for Aaliyah. Indiana wins this game, and they will own the tiebreaker against Seattle. These teams will meet one more time. You gonna get that?
I got it with my foot.
Nice. Well done.
Thank you.
Ball rolled right under our table, which is...
It would have if my foot wasn't there to stop.
Wait,
That's how long my legs
your
are.
Foot
Yes.
outside the...
My feet can reach.
You knocked it
the court.
outside? Wow.
I did.
I didn't realize that you could get under the curtain. Mitchell, jumper, that one's off as well. Kelsey Mitchell 0 for 5. Now here we go. This is the ball header. Here's Hull, unable to finish on the drive.
That was left-footed, by the way, too.
Even more impressive. Wheeler can't finish the layup. Indiana trying to push the other way. Mitchell, pull-up jumper, still can't buy a bucket. 0 for 6 to begin this game.
All good shots, and the right shots for her to be taking, though. She has to stay confident in them.
Seattle, meanwhile, has missed its last 5 shots. Wheeler into the lane, kick out. Oh, good look. Clark in the corner.
That's the shot that she's been getting, though, and has to step in with confidence and drain.
A shot just 30% from 3 this season. Boston has the size on Mitchell. Boston able to finish, plus the foul. They'll call an offensive foul on Boston, and now that is going to be her second.
You see the two-man game, and the trap go to Kelsey. The chest and isn't quite as egregious as it is when you have a smaller player on you.
Such a great point. So Mitchell, Malunga. Oh, another one headed your way, partner.
My arms aren't that.
This presentation of the WNBA on ABC. First quarter action here. Indiana 1-point lead on Seattle. Slight difference. Game and shot clock. Colson and a whistle here on Malunga. Hanging with Howard. Does it feel like it's been a while since we've had a made shot?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, does it feel like there's been a lot of whistles?
Both things,
Both things are true, yes.
Yeah. Oh, poor inbound pass. Wheeler able to take it. Pull up 3. Off.
2 fouls on Aaliyah Boston. How do you navigate this quarter in terms of her playing time?
Yeah, you know, we've really got to see how it goes. We need to try to buy her some time with Dee on the floor, and we got to get her back in the game and go to her.
All right, thanks a lot, Steph. Always appreciate the time from Stephanie White, head coach of the Fever. Nice look inside. What a dish from Howard, and Duntas the hands to finish.
Doing a really nice job navigating the mismatch inside. It doesn't always come from the point guard. You get it over for the high-low. Done beautifully there by Indiana.
Here's Wheeler. Off to Malunga. Wow. You see flashes of what the 19-year-old is capable of. The one-legged turnaround jumper.
And you just look at her frame, 6'6" and super long.
Cunningham connects on another 3.
And because of the trap on the on-ball screen, when you move the ball, you heard Sophie Cunningham talk about it. Those looks will be there.
Good D there from Lexi Hull. And Stephanie White told us she just loved the way they have moved the ball over this 4-game winning streak.
Just making the extra pass and finding the right hand to.
And Hall, the good box out as it tilts out of bounds.
And especially because Seattle played a double overtime game on Friday. We've got the early tip here today. The bench is going to be really important for them in terms of keeping up the pace that they want to play. Heavy minutes on Friday for the starters.
Indiana 9 assists on their 9 made field goals. Here's Duntis. Duntis maneuvering her way, couldn't quite slip it in. Rebound Clark. Here's Mitchell, nice hesitation, and then gets fouled as Tiffany Mitchell, the former member of the Fever, will shoot a pair.
Well, she saw that she had a 5-player between her and the basket with Duntis, and so knew that she could go by, coming down.
To remind our ABC audience, when it comes to the WNBA this offseason, all but 2 veterans are due to be free agents this offseason. And when you look ahead to just, the interest and the intrigue around this league, I'm not sure all of us have really taken the proper focus to understand what a frenzy it is going to be when it comes to player movement this particular offseason, CBA pending.
Free agency is going to be incredible.
And a whistle here against Seattle.
Lexi Brown on the floor now is one of the 2 players that is under contract, one of those 2 veterans. Kalani Brown the other.
Those are the only 2 veterans who are under contract for next season. Basically, all veterans were lining up their deals with the new CBA, expecting a big pop in salary. You also don't know whether or not there's still going to be a core to keep players with their respective franchises, even if they want to move. Here's Malunga. Nice moves inside. And some impressive flashes here from Dominique Malunga.
And you see how much her confidence has grown throughout the course of the season. She stepped in and posted hard, demanded the basketball. That's half the battle.
Holly?
Well, she's getting more regular minutes earlier in the game, as we see today. And we talked to her coach, Noelle Quinn, about why. She said she's 19. We had to get her in a rhythm, whether it's weight room, workout, film study, preparation. And you can see right now she is starting to understand herself in their system and understand their system. She's just had incredible plays on both ends of the floor, defensively and offensively, in this last stretch.
And 19 years old. I mean, it's just so young. Just recently became the youngest player in league history to record a double-double.
Watch her win.
Turkish team coming up this offseason as the foul is called against Duntis. Last 4 games, Malunga has averaged 10 points, 8.5 rebounds, 53% shooting, nearly 2 blocks per. Wheeler works around the hedge. Magbagora 3. That is way off. And it's out of bounds to Indiana. Seattle 1 for 6 from 3-point range. Noelle Quinn told us before the game, when we are playing well, we hit our threes and we get into the paint. She also said when Gabby plays well, we play well. Two-point Indiana lead. Still, neither team is separated by more than 4 points in this first half. Duntis fakes the 3 and drains the 2.
Damiris Duntis, the last few games, the second she touches the basketball, her eyes are on the rim. That's her first option to her is, can I get a shot off? She's just looking to be very aggressive offensively.
Gabby Williams, Skylar Diggins getting ready to check back in for Seattle. Mitchell, explosive drive, couldn't finish it. Lexi Hall is such a terrific rebounding guard. Knocked that to McDonald, who turns it into 2 with gas all the way to the cup.
The way Ari McDonald just used her body to get Wheeler out of the way so that she could fling it in. The speed of Ari.
Very appreciative by the cheer here from the Seattle fans. I mean, one thing we know about this city, it has always been incredibly supportive of women's sports. We experienced that a couple of years ago when the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 were here, when Caitlin Clark led Iowa to wins over Colorado and Louisville en route to her first Final Four. The atmosphere at the games here was just incredible. And it was interesting, Caitlin was actually on A Touch More live at All-Star with Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe, their podcast, and she said she feels like that Louisville game when she had a 40-point triple-double was really kind of the game where her life changed and the attention on her really changed.
That's when the attention on all of women's basketball really started to change.
Happened here in this building. By the way, I have it on good authority that Caitlin just recorded with Sue Bird for Bird's Eye View. Terrific podcast, and that will be releasing August 8th.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yes, looking forward to hearing that. Holly?
Well, I don't want to put this out there and have it be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Caitlin Clark, we actually organized Sue Bird to meet Caitlin Clark before that Louisville game.
Yes.
She had never met her before. We brought her in, surprised them at shoot-around. And so I think Sue Bird gets a little credit for Caitlin's, 40-point triple-double, because that was the day she got to meet her idol, Sue Bird.
That's true. That was shoot-around that day, right before their Elite 8 matchup. Diggins gets denied, but a whistle, and there again, Skylar Diggins getting that whistle that Noelle Quinn was asking for, and she looks at us and gives a smile after that whistle. It was effective, Coach. It was effective.
And a blocker up top. The official saw some contact down below.
The competition heating up, which means it's time for another test drive powered by CarMax. From now through August 7th, enjoy a free League Pass preview and stream live games in the WNBA app with no subscription required. Scan the QR code to get the app and start streaming. 30-26, Indiana leading Seattle. Here's McDonald bouncing out. Howard will try a three. No. And it tilts out of bounds. By the way, we were talking, Sue. She's here today, courtside with Megan. There they are, sitting courtside. And Sue is getting her statue outside Climate Pledge on August 17th here in Seattle.
Incredible. Certainly deserving.
Yes. Here's Agumake. Oh, the footwork. Nika Agumake. Some beautiful ballet to the bucket. Mitchell can't get that to drop either. Kelsey Mitchell 0 for 7 from the floor. Here's Wheeler. Flipping it out. Nneka off. Mitchell zipping inside. Gets that one to drop, plus the foul. Kelsey Mitchell finally on the board.
Kelsey Mitchell has taken really good. Now the opportunity for the and one.
If you were Indiana and you said, hey, you don't have Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell's not going to have a field goal till late in the second quarter and you're going to have the lead, you'd say, we feel pretty good about that. And while Seattle hit its first attempt from three, that was Nneka. They have missed their last 6. Both of these teams 16 and 12. Nneka able to fend off Aaliyah Boston, who's playing with 2 fouls and had to be careful.
Smart, intentionally attacked the player with 2 fouls.
That's a travel from McDonald. First turnover of the second quarter for Indiana after they had 7 in the first.
And if you're Seattle, you continue to try to attack Aaliyah Boston, knowing that she can only place, a certain degree of defense, so she doesn't pick up a third. There they go.
Right back to Nneka. Agumake muscling in, spinning, couldn't finish it with the left hand, and then grabbing at her right bicep a bit. McDonald slides it off a foot. Timeout on the floor, 2-point Indiana lead. Tightly played opening act this time before she returns. And if you look at the calendar, that would be more likely to happen towards the back half of the month of August as Caitlin works her way back. But I thought it was interesting, Rebecca, having the conversation with Stephanie White about how they're playing now and how Caitlin may accentuate those positives and melding sort of what they've been able to do right now and what Caitlin does so well when she gets back.
She talked about how fast the Fever play end to end when Caitlin is on the floor, and then when she's off the floor, how they move the ball side to side. And there's a value in seeing that, and you know, how the ball finds its way back to the shooters. She also talked about the gravity that Caitlin has on the floor. Like, you can just run one action and you tilt the entire defense and get a good look. And when she's not on the floor, how you have to go to multiple sides and multiple actions, and how her team has gotten very good at that.
Holly?
Well, Stephanie White did give us a small update on Caitlin that she has started some full court running, full speed running the last 4 or 5 days. Still not doing full basketball activities, but there has been some progress made recently.
Yeah, good to see that for sure, Holly. Thanks so much. As Boston, that's a tough bucket. Able to sneak it in around McMagor.
We got a glimpse in the Dallas game, the game before Caitlin re-injured herself, and how good Indiana looked when Caitlin was on the court, and then in the minutes when she was on the bench as well. It felt like they were really bringing it together.
Yeah, everything was humming. Agumake can hit the jumper. Wow! Tiffany Mitchell getting in there aggressively. And, I mean, is a whistle going to blow at some point, one way or another? Holy cow. Sophie Cunningham just has to laugh about that. How was that not a foul? So Cunningham will jump it up with Mitchell. Terrific effort by Mitchell. And now it's going to be Indiana basketball after a violation there and a loose ball foul against Seattle. Indiana's in the bonus, so is Seattle. So there's going to be free throws here for the Fever.
It's the foul on Tiffany Mitchell during...
Cunningham, it's the first free throw. Sophie 2 for 2 from 3. The rest of the Fever 0 for 8. Cunningham with those free throws matches the largest lead of the game for either team. It's 6. 10 points for Cunningham. Lob it inside, knocked away by McDonald. You know, another date to keep in mind. Rebecca, August 7th, 3 p.m. That is the WNBA trade deadline.
3 p.m. Eastern?
Yes, I believe so.
Let's be specific. Yeah, well, maybe we'll see some more movement. We saw some yesterday.
Yeah.
Was that this morning?
This morning, Dejanay Carrington on her way to Minnesota. Boy, do the Lynx look good. You just hope that Afisa Collier is okay. How about Mitchell picking the pocket? Forgot to take it with her. McDonald has it. Oh, my! An unconventional highlight as Boston finishes it. What a wild sequence. And it bears fruit at the end for the Fever. Mitchell, no. Indiana may get a push here at the end of this half. McDonald off to Boston. Hand off Mitchell. 2-for-1 opportunity here for Indiana. Howard, great position, and lays it in, just able to shed Williams.
Also a great ball fake by Ari McDonald that shifted the defense to the outside of Howard, and then she delivered it on the basket side.
16 assists for Indiana. An 8-0 Fever run, 6-second difference, game and shot clock. Here's Williams. Williams fading away. Wow, what a shot from Gabby Williams. Time here for Indiana, 5 seconds left in the half. McDonald, 2 seconds. McDonald has to put it up. Can't hit, and that'll do it. That did not hit the rim. And absolutely should have just been a shot clock violation. And then Wheeler gets wide open as Kelsey Mitchell got screened. And that's a bucket for Seattle that never should have existed. But they take advantage. Howard on the other end can't finish. Storm looking to push in transition. Wheeler into the corner, and Williams couldn't hang on.
See the side out of bounds play, and you'll see Wheeler just come.
Here's McDonald. Dragging out Wheeler. Mitchell will fire. Still can't hit from 3. Kelsey Mitchell 0 for 5 from downtown. And a whistle on Natasha Howard. Her third. And Mitchell 1 of 10 from the floor. Talked about how remarkable she had been on the road of late. Last 8 road games averaging 25 points, 50% from 3. Having an all WNBA type season. Had a great case to make one last season, got a lot of votes, but fell short. You would think she'd make it this season as Wheeler can't finish. Here comes McDonald, 5-on-4 developing. McDonald blasting to the bucket. A little too much on it. Magbagor now the other way. Williams. Directing traffic, wants a screen, gets it from Magbagor, gets it back to her. Magbagor able to finish. Outstanding orchestration there from Gabby Williams, and Indiana needs a time call. Also, you know, just in case fans are wondering, well, you know, what happens off a deflection from a defensive player if it hits the rim? Shot clock still would reset. It doesn't have to be a shot. As Howard somehow spins that in, plus the foul. An acrobatic finish from Natasha Howard and a chance for 3.
You see her cutting through the lanes. Skylar Diggins is inside, so she's the one left to
the window. And just to clean that up, in college, it does have to be a shot. In the pro game, in order for the shot clock to reset on a ball that hits the rim. In the pro game, just as comes from the floor, hits the rim, whether it was deflected or not, the shot clock would reset. 9-point Indiana lead. Howard has 15 points, 7 of 9 from the floor. Low pass. Mitchell digs it up, using her size on McDonald. Here's Magbagor leaving it short. Kelsey Mitchell just 1 of 10 on the day, but Indiana has been able to weather it thus far. Here's Cunningham, who has 13. Boston keeps it. Dishes knocked away out of bounds. 7 to shoot for Indiana. Hey, tonight on Sunday Night Baseball, we'll have the series finale between the Tigers and Phillies from Citizens. McDonald leaves it short on the 3. Indiana just 3 for 14 from downtown. Knocked away by Howard into the lap of Kelsey Mitchell, and Magbagor caught her. That is going to be 3rd foul on Magbagor.
On the play, we have a take foul. That stays on. Right now, reviewing for a possible upgrade to a flagrant.
I don't understand why that's a transition take foul at all. There has to be an intention to take the foul in order for it to be a transition take.
Foul will stand. We'll shoot 1 shot. The ball will be side out at the point of interruption.
So even if Eric Bruton there is looking at the monitor and saying, oh, you know what, that should have just been a common foul, not a transition take, he can't do anything to me, it looked like kind of all in one motion as the steal happened. And Mitchell hits the free throw. Does that get her going at all?
It's pretty remarkable, though, that Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston have combined for only 11 points, and yet Indiana still has a double-digit lead.
Right. I mean, you see what Mitchell's done on the road of late and how she struggled today. If you would have said, hey, no Caitlin Clark, and Mitchell and Boston would combine for that, you'd never think this would be the score. Cunningham again! Sophie Cunningham has tied her season high, 16 points.
Her statue is being unveiled on August 17th. I got to see a photo of the statue, so I'm not going to give away too much. Thing I cared about the most was that the ponytail looked impeccable. It is flawless. Just know somebody has seen the statue, and it's fantastic.
The pony needed to be on point, and it is, most importantly. Joining Lenny Wilkins as the only immortalized legends that are out there outside the Climate Pledge Arena here in Seattle.
They should have made 2 statues and sent one to Storrs, Connecticut.
That's true, too. And there's Sue on the logo there. Here's Lenny's just on. Such a great basketball area. I mean, even if you go to the youth and the high school level, so many legendary careers beginning in the Pacific Northwest. Here's McDonald. Off to Hull, shot clock at 3, finds Howard, her jumper, sure.
That was a terrific defensive possession by Seattle, and Indiana still finds a way to get a decent look at the end of the shot clock.
17 for Howard. She is 8 for 10 from the floor. Poked away by Hull and out of bounds. It'll stay with Seattle. I mean, she just has a knack for getting to those open spots on the floor, for being a scavenger on putbacks on the glass. Malunga off on a 3. McDonald falls in the rebound, pushing pace immediately for Indiana. Here's Cunningham, one more. Not that time. Knocked around, and Magbagor comes down with it. Malunga running the floor, trying to save it, and does. Mitchell lays it in. Here's Duntis. She provided some scoring off the bench in the first half. Catches it on the move and gets fouled on the pass.
Aaron McDonald a little banged up after running into a screen.
In for McDonald.
Yeah, she ran into the screen and just immediately kind of held herself.
4th foul. 4 fouls on Magbagor for Seattle. Duntis fakes the 3, the drive, the floater, too strong. Hull a 3, off. Howard trying to grab it, and it last hit her leg. It'll be Seattle basketball.
But that was a perfect example of Howard as the scavenger. The first one, just because she's so active, so often balls ends up in her hands on the offensive glass.
So often. Here's Malunga on the drive, laying it in with the left hand. Seeing that aspect. The tiebreaker, and we asked Stephanie White as she looked at the way things are condensed in the standings and started to think about, is a 2-seed possible? Is a 3-seed possible? She said no, but the one thing she has focused on with her team is tiebreakers. It was important for them to get one against Vegas a little over a week ago, and now feeling like it's really important to lock that down here against Seattle. Colson couldn't hang on to it. Malunga the steal. Here comes Williams. Gabby Williams jumper rims out. Cunningham able to hang on to the board and got fouled, so free throws here for Sophie Cunningham, who already has tied her season high with 16 points. Taking a look at the upcoming WNBA national TV schedule. Prime Video Thursday, Atlanta at Chicago, Indy and Phoenix. Eye on Friday, Liberty at Dallas. Vegas hosts Seattle. CBS Saturday, Chicago at Indy. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. I know you and I both, as we were flying here yesterday, were watching Minnesota just absolutely thump Vegas. Largest road win in the history of this league. But of course, eclipsed by the concern that the Lynx have now for Nafisa Collier, and just hoping whatever she did around, the ankle is not going to cost too much time, because she has no doubt about it been the MVP of the league up until this point.
Certainly one of Minnesota's best games of the year in terms of shooting the basketball from deep. Kayla McBride with 8 made threes in the first half. She was just on one.
And a travel here. And Minnesota also making, in addition earlier today, acquiring Dejanay Carrington. What do you think about the move, Rebecca, and how that helps bolster an already terrific team.
Well, it's interesting because Minnesota has been the best team this year, record-wise. They're coming off probably their best performance of the season, but certainly adds some toughness, in particular on the defensive end of the floor at the wing position.
10-point Indiana lead as Colson tosses it too tall for Dundas, out of bounds.
Minnesota, Seattle's next opponent here on Tuesday.
Yeah. We will have Minnesota and New York at Barclays Center, another finals rematch a week from today at 12:30 Eastern on ABC, August 10th. First game was another exciting matchup between those teams. Williams with that mid-range jumper. Seattle has not really been able to claw closer than 8. Can they make a push to finish this third? Boston looking to take the rookie. Boston can't find anything there. Malunga the denial. Ogwumike stops and hits. It's a 6-point game.
Seattle cleared out the left side of the floor so that Skylar Diggins and Nneka Ogwumike could work in the two-player action.
They lose it on the screen. Diggins alone for the lay. It's a 10-1 Seattle run as they have turned defense into offense late in this quarter. Indiana struggling with McDonald on the bench, getting ready to check back in. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Nearly another turnover. Colson can't get it to drop. Saved by Seattle. 8 seconds left in the quarter. Noel Quinn saying, move, move, move. And a whistle here against Indiana. They had a foul to give. So side out of bounds for Seattle. And McDonald coming to get Colson just for the final 2.7. Diggins lobs it in. Ogwumike at the horn. No. And that'll do it for with 4:25 to go. No field goals since then. And it's just a 4-point cushion to begin the fourth. Ari McDonald, Kelsey Mitchell back in for Indiana as Ogwumike leaves that one short. And Boston able to fingertip her 9th rebound.
Once again, you saw the left side of the floor cleared out. It wasn't a two-player game, just a cut by Ogwumike.
Here's Hull into Boston. Off to McDonald, 6 to shoot. McDonald sneaks in, finds the cutter. Howard curls it home on another perfectly timed Natasha Howard cut.
It was a great drive by McDonald to get a touch in the paint. And yeah, that's just Howard doing what she does, playing on instinct, cutting towards the basket.
19 for Howard, 7 assists for McDonald. How about Malunga using the size to shade away Boston for 2.
Really good minutes here today from Malunga.
Nice look again. McDonald to Howard with the dart. 21 for Howard, 8 assists for McDonald. Thrown away. McDonald off the steal. Will pedal it up and in through the contact from Williams. And a timeout taken by Noel Quinn. Big start.
Well, she said there is a lot of pressure. She had to do a presentation last Wednesday. I hope she's made some progress.
I got to tell you, like, I get sweats thinking about that. Imagine having a 12-page paper due right now. Ooh.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Hull off. Rebound. Magligor trying to save it. Everybody falls down except Aaliyah Boston.
Great hustle by Aaliyah Boston initially just to get in there and make that board difficult for Seattle to corral.
Here's Wheeler. Stuck, nearly threw it away. Agumake can't smush it in. Boston trying to save it. No one was there, and it ends up in a Agumake layup.
Back-to-back possessions where the players should have just eaten the possession and held the ball when they fell out of bounds.
8-point Indiana lead, seeking a 5th straight win and to lock down the tiebreaker against Seattle. Here's McDonald. Bounces to Boston, center the lane, able to flip it in. It's another double-double for Aaliyah Boston. Her 14th of the season. The foul on Hull gave a little nudge to Mitchell. 31 last time these teams played on 13 of 18, and Noelle Quinn felt like they did not front her in that game. Did not use their athleticism to be disruptive. Our focus was Boston and Mitchell. They've been mostly held in check, but the rest of the Fever have gone off, and the Fever defense has been terrific.
Yeah, just the trap there, making things very difficult for Erica Wheeler. She couldn't see an open player, took time to deliver it, shot clock violation. You see it, just the trap coming with...
Stephanie White telling us she's loved the aggression and discipline defensively of late. Back iron it off, and a whistle here against Indiana. It's on Natasha Howard, her 4th personal. Now Howard with 21 here back in Seattle, where she won a couple of championships, 2018, 2020. Part of what was just a perfectly blended starting 5 with Sue Bird, Jewel Lloyd, Brianna Stewart, Howard, Alicia Clark. Here's Diggins, got fouled, and Skylar Diggins is going to go to the line. Shoot her 5th and 6th free throws of the game, and Noelle Quinn gives another point over to us. And next Sunday, we'll have a finals rematch for you on ABC. The Lynx in Brooklyn to take on the Liberty. Coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern on ABC, ESPN Plus, and ESPN Deportes. Liberty able to snap their skid with a win against Connecticut today. Sabrina Ionescu going off in that game.
That was beautiful basketball when those two teams met, though, early this week.
On Wednesday in Minnesota, great atmosphere at Target Center and really great basketball. Pretty sizable cushion for the Lynx in that top seed right now in the standings. Even if Nafisa Collier has to miss time. Mitchell still can't get it to drop.
Not trapping this half on those on-ball screens, just switching, and still Mitchell unable to get the shot to fall.
Knocked away by McDonald. Bibby, the flick ahead. Mitchell can't lay it in. Here comes Seattle, down 9. 5:45 to go. Good look inside, and Magbagor finishes. Beautiful dish from Gabby Williams. 12 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists for Williams. Here's Mitchell. Cunningham getting ready to check back in, and Diggins got tripped. Looked like it maybe initially should have been a kick.
Are they calling this a transition take foul too?
No, I think just a loose ball foul.
Okay, okay.
Possession for Skylar Diggins, and that's what was being explained to her as she was frustrated. Agumake can't finish there. It was a loose ball. Here's Mitchell. Good look. Boston finishes plus the foul. A chance for 3 for Aaliyah Boston. After a nice delivery from Kelsey Mitchell. It feels like, unofficially, Indiana has more conventional three-point plays today than three-pointers made. They're just 4 for 19 from 3, but they've had a lot of and ones. Agumake, loose handle, lost it. Mitchell up with it, running with McDonald and Boston. Boston gets free and finishes. Timeout, Seattle. Lead back to 12. Game about Howard kind of being a barometer for wins and losses for Indiana. And when she's been good, they've generally won. Malunga, great set out of the timeout from Noel Quinn and the Seattle coaching staff. And an easy bucket on the interior. Malunga in double figures off the bench. Here's Cunningham, who's 4 for 5 from 3 today. Boston has the last 9 Fever points. Bibby jumper is off. An opportunity for Seattle here. Ogumake plotting, stopping, and hitting. And now Stephanie White wants a timeout. 8-point game with just a...
You got a quick blow. We need you back out there.
Here's McDonald, who's been great today on both ends. Off to Mitchell, a 3. Short. Kelsey Mitchell now 1 for 13 from the floor as Howard knocks that pass away. Mitchell 0 for 7 from 3.
That's one where Erica Wheeler just needed to kind of throw it up closer to the rim where only Malunga could get it.
This crowd has been begging to see some made shots from their Storm. Been a tough day offensively for them. Wheeler, big one on the way here. Is good. Five-point game, 7-0 Seattle run. Boston, no. Here comes Wheeler. Wheeler weaving, dishing. Malunga gives it up. Wheeler backing away with Boston honor. And a whistle away from the ball against Indiana. That is going to be their 5th team foul and puts Seattle in this game since they took the lead for good with 3 minutes to go in the first. But Seattle's been able to just hang around enough. And now a burst here. And Ogumake has cut it to 4 as she misses the second free throw. An 8-0 Seattle run with plenty of time left. Last 5 minutes of game time, only Aaliyah Boston has scored for Indiana. Here's Mitchell behind the back in traffic, and it goes out of bounds off of Seattle. And Stephanie White immediately says, make the easy play. Told us before the game, even though there were some passes with flair from Mitchell last game, she doesn't like the flair. McDonald floats it back to Cunningham. 7 to shoot. Off of McDonald into the backcourt. Shot clock down to 3, and it's out of bounds. Over and back. Wheeler misses the banker. Not a great shot there. 2:25 to go in the 4th. McDonald has it picked. Diggins on the steal, and Skylar Diggins misses the layup. Malunga misses the follow, but then Diggins! And a chance for 3.
The effort.
An 11-0 burst from Seattle, and feels like it came out of nowhere. 1-point Indiana lead. And nearly another steal, as this time a foul is called. Just the second team foul on the Storm. Malunga has been a key part off the bench here for Seattle in these critical minutes.
Huge, using her length to deny the ball to Aaliyah Boston, pushing her away from the paint.
You just get the feeling at some point the Fever are going to need Kelsey Mitchell to hit a shot. We'll take one here, and hit! Three-point game. Mitchell had been 1 for 13 before that make. Here's Malunga. Guarded by Howard. Malunga, the touch is off. The rebound to Howard. Diggins pestering in the backcourt. And a whistle on Diggins. First foul against Seattle in the final 2 minutes.
Good defense by Howard. Good rebound by Howard. She's been really impactful.
Here is Mitchell. Mitchell dancing, giving it up. Under a minute and a half to go. Boston back to Mitchell. Her three. Off. Malunga the rebound. Seattle basketball down 3. Ogumake. Using the screen out to Diggins. A 3. Can't hit. Malunga the board. Williams cross court. Diggins, another chance. Back iron and off. 2 chances to tie, but Diggins couldn't hit. Under a minute to go. Stephanie White calming her team down, leading by 3. Here is Mitchell. Around the screen, back to Boston. Boston to McDonald. Off on a 3. Rebound to Ogumake, and a timeout taken by Seattle with 35.8 to for the tiebreaker later this regular season. Wheeler to inbound. Here is Diggins. Diggins trying to get away from the trap to the corner. Wheeler, no! Rebound batted out of bounds. Looked like Boston hit it last. And it will stay with Seattle with 26 seconds remaining.
Hammer screen on the far side of the court. Drawing up play for Skylar Diggins to drive left and then hit the corner for the 3.
They've gotten some great looks from 3 these last couple of possessions to tie. Just haven't hit them. Wheeler goes down. No call. Here's Diggins. Diggins back to Ogumake. Another 3. Back iron and off. Williams the O board. Still time for Seattle. Dump it in, Malunga turning, taking, and hitting. It's a 1-point game, 10.7 to go. And Stephanie White will take a timeout. Both teams also still have their could use the reset if she has trouble with the inbound. Cunningham gets it into Mitchell. Mitchell dancing to the cup, lays it in. 3-point Indiana lead, and now Seattle will use its reset, which gives me a chance to ask you, would you foul if you're Indiana up 3?
Ooh, with 8 seconds left, maybe. Another end from Indiana.
Gabby Williams to inbound, 8 seconds remaining. Seattle down 3, now out of timeouts. Williams has to get it in. Here's Wheeler, gives it back. Williams a 3, off. Rebound Boston, gets it to Cunningham, and Indiana hangs on. A 5th straight victory for the Fever. Now will they call a foul on Seattle before time expired?